Hi there, this is a series of videos where I go through the creation of a simple file sharing app for Windows. In fact, if you click on that little info card there, it will take you to the playlist for the rest of the videos. I'm building the application in parts to make it easy to test as I go, and in this part, I'm going to add an acknowledgement system to allow clients to reject incoming messages, so they'll get a little yes, no to confirm that the messages, they want to receive those messages. And of course, that all starts after the fade. So in the last video, we fixed up the adding, removing from the list on the main form. So we have our list node items here. We have this add to client list, and only if that item hasn't appeared inside that list, then we add it. And we do that through the hello and the acknowledge, which is they're very similar, except the broadcast acknowledge does. Broadcast acknowledge sends the acknowledgement back to the client so that it knows that it's connected and everything's good. The initiate one here is the new transfer one, and I wanted to have an acknowledgement of that, and I've called this one acknowledge. So what I might do is I might change this to hello acknowledge. And it's easy to do because all I need to do is just do command period, command full stop, whatever you want to call it, and then just do that, and not now, Bitdefender, and it changes in every single file. And the reason why I want to do that is because, so this is hello, initiate, hello, okay, is I want to have a send and send request and send acknowledgement, and I can't do that with, well, I could do it, but it's better to have a different name there. And I think inside the broadcast one, where's the say hello? If I go inside broadcast, yeah, my broadcaster here, I've got hello con ac, and this is going to send these values here. So that's the hello acknowledgement. Hello acknowledgement. I'll call that hello ac. Initiate file transfer. Say hello. Ready. Now what I need to do is I need to have a send request, and then a send acknowledgement. And then once you get the acknowledgement, you can then initiate the file transfer. So I'm going to do public const string, and then I'm going to do this as send, name of send, send request, public const string, and then this is, I'll call this send OK, name of send acknowledgement. Send acknowledgement. Okay. So say hello, and then I've got to do acknowledge. So these are exactly the same thing, and so I'm just going to copy them. So I've got public void send file request, IP endpoint client, and then it's going to be the file name. And the reason why I want to send the file name is because I want to be able to send additional data to there, because I want to be able to say Sloan is sending you a file, and that means I need to have string host name, host and user, and string file name. Okay, and then the encoding now gets a little bit complicated because it's going to be in a special format, and that format is going to be very similar to the other one. I just want to have the file name in here just to save the bytes, because it's going to be sent UDP, so the smaller the file size, the better. So I'm hoping that all this works, but we'll see how it goes. So I need to encode a string. So I'm going to say string message equals, and then it's going to be host. It's going to be send that there, send that, and then I want to have the host and username, host and user, and then file name, and then I want to send this. And I want to encode the message. It's message.length, and we're going to send that to the client. Now I also want to send a file acknowledgement back, and so I want to have public void send file acknowledgement, and then it's going to be to whatever the end the client is. I don't need host and user this time because I'm just accepting the file name. So I'm going to bring that back to there, and instead of send, it's going to be sock, and I don't need this. I just need that there, and that's okay. And that's going to send those things out there. So I'm going to send the file request, and I'm going to send it back. And the file name, oh yeah, the file name, that's a bit problematic. So for the send file request, I'm going to say string trimmed file name equals path dot get file name, oops, file name, and then change that to that. For this one, I don't need to do that because it's going to be, it's sending it to so it's going to send a message that contains that file name, which is the trimmed file name, and then it's going to acknowledge it sending it back. And the reason why I need to do that is because you could have technically multiple files going out, and so you need to know which ones are going where. Which also means inside our network shared lib, I'm going to have to create a new class inside here, and that class is going to be to store the IP address and the file name. So I'm going to say file transfer request. So file transfer request, let's make that public string host and user, public string file name, public bool, do I need anything else? I don't think I need anything else. Just need that. Okay. I'm going to do public file transfer request, string host and user, string file name, file name equals file name. Okay, and we can get rid of all of this stuff up here. Okay. And then inside the broadcaster, we need to, when we receive a message, we can't just accept that it's a string. We also have to parse out the pieces of that string. So the message can be 1 to 3 lines in length, depending on the message type. And for the message type, I'm going to, I need to split that out. So I'm going to say var message split equals message.split dot to char array, and then we want to do string split options dot remove empty entries. And so the first one is always going to be the command. So that's okay. So I can do that on there because we know that it's always going to be the command. Again, you really should check these things, and I'm going to leave that up to your imagination and skill to do that, but you really should check to make sure you're getting valid data in here. And then the last bit is we're going to have our case send break, case send OK break. So if it is that there, we're going to do var request equals new file transfer request, and then it's going to be message split 1 because the first line. So if we go back up to here, so the 0th element is the send command. The first element is host user, and then the second element, in other words, the second line is the trimmed file name. Comma 2, and that gets us that. And then if it is the send OK, then it is just the first one, and we leave the other one blank. We don't need that. And then that's going to be send OK. And we can call that, that's fine. And then we're going to send these out of different message events. So we have our broadcast payload message received. Actually, you know what? Now that I've created that, that doesn't seem very sensible to do because I could just use this. Oh, I should have looked at that before. Okay, never mind. Public string, and then let's call this host name get set public string file name get and set, and in that way we don't need to change it. And then here we can do string. Let's move these into separate lines, shall we? Host name file name equals that, and we can say host name equals host name, file name, file name. Okay, and then we can get rid of that file transfer request. Oopsies. Sorry if you've been following along and you just typed that, and I'm really sorry. And then down here, we can just do broadcast message. Oh, we have that on message received. Oh, right. Okay, we can just do that. We can just do this down here as well. So you can say string host name, string file name, and then down here we can do host name, file name, and then nothing has to change really. On message received, that there. So this is going to be send OK, sender, and then it's going to be message split 1. I'll fix these errors in just a sec. There. Okay, it doesn't like on message received. Oh yeah, because these need to be, again, let me put this. So this is this little kind of factory method that I created, which, I mean, I don't really need to, but I could have also made that protected as well, but I didn't. Because then if you want to extend from this class, then you could quite easily by changing the on message received. Well, I didn't make it virtual either, so you'd have to change it. So this new message payload, message client hostname file name, that's good. So all of these don't change. The only difference is that this is hello and hello. So I need to change that to something as well. So that's got to be sent to send request, and it's going to be send acknowledge. Okay, so that is going to be send request, send acknowledge. Okay, that's good. That's good. What else do we need to do there? I think everything's okay there because we've got our send acknowledge. And so the only thing we need to do now is inside our main form, we need to respond to those messages. So we're going to have to do case broadcast message dot send request and case broadcast message dot send acknowledge. And send acknowledge is all going to do is broadcaster dot send file acknowledgement, and then the file acknowledgement is going to be the client. Well, send acknowledge. We need to wait for the client to say yes or no for the file transfer. Now, in the updated GUI, what we're going to do is we're going to have separate items for each of these, but for this one, we're only going to have, because it's only just me running between the two machines, we're going to have, I forgot my coffee was here as well. We're going to have just a dialog box popping up. So I think this is okay to do this. For now, when we get to the new GUI, we'll change that. So I'm going to say if message box dot show receive file, and then the text is going to be receive, and then it's what's the message? E dot file name from E dot host name, and then it's going to be, what do we have here? Message box buttons dot yes no, and I need to change that around because the caption goes second. Equals okay, yes, in fact, sorry. So if we say yes, we want to send that acknowledgement back. So we want to say send the broadcaster dot send file acknowledgement, and then it's going to be e dot client e dot file name. So we're sending that back. So for send request, we're going to be sending information to the client. Oh, that's the send request, isn't it? Oh, I've done that wrong. It should be up here. So when we get a send request in, we're going to be saying it's from file name hostname, and then send acknowledge, we just want to send that back out. But we're not going to be, actually send acknowledge, we are going to send it. So that's going to be initiate. I think initiate is the only one we need, isn't it? I don't know if we need that one there. Let me just leave that in just now, and then we'll send that back. So where's initiate getting called from? Broadcast initiate. So it goes down to broadcaster. Where's initiate coming from? Okay, where's that getting sent? Initiating transfer. Where does that get sent from? Oh, I guess that gets sent from in here inside the dialog. So I don't want to initiate the transfer here. I want to wait for it to appear. So this is in the main form here. So this is going to be this was synchronous. In other words, it was like you clicked it, something happened immediately. What I want to do now is I want to wait until the other machine has okayed it and is accepting that file. So what I want to do now is I don't want to initiate the transfer here. New transfer file. Initiating transfer. Okay, so that's telling the other one that it has been received. So send file acknowledgement. So the send file acknowledgement is in there, and then inside acknowledgement, that's when I want to do it. Okay. So I want to, instead of doing this here, I want to comment that out, and I want to paste that inside send acknowledgement. So this is me sending the acknowledgement. And I want to send that I'm initiating the transfer to the client. So it's going to be e.client. So the client's saying, okay, I'm sending this back. Then I want to transfer the file back to e.client.toString, which is fine. And then the file name, I need to store it here. So again, because this is going to be a one-to-one file name, I'm okay with doing that here. We need to create separate models in the GUI, the updated GUI version of it. File to transfer. I'll just give it empty string just now. And then down here, I'm going to have file to transfer equals ofd.filename. And then I want to say this is going to be, I don't need that. I want to initiate that transfer. So I'm going to say broadcast dot send file request, and then that file request is going to be the client, the host, and the user. I'll come back to that in just a sec, and then the file name, which is going to be file to transfer, and that's going to then send that file request, which is up here. So up here, instead of the file name, we're going to do e.client.filename here, because we don't need to know. So we're sending acknowledgement back to the other one. Oh, but we can't. We're transferring that across. So this has got to be file to transfer. This has to be file to transfer because we're initiating the transfer. We're sending it across, saying we're initiating the transfer just now, and then we are going to send it. Okay, so send file acknowledgement. Once we receive it, we send that, and then on the other machine, that gets the send acknowledgement. It initiates the transfer, and then it calls transfer on that particular file. Okay. Does this look okay? I think this looks okay. So we do the show dialog box. We find out what the client is because it's based on whatever the selected node is. We then send a file request to the client, and that's it. So the only thing we're sending across is we want to send across the file to transfer. So I've got my headphones in, just realized that. Wondering why I couldn't hear myself properly. And then send file request. So the file request goes in here. We then check to see if that client says that's okay. And if the client says it's okay, we send the file acknowledgement. So then in the other client, what we're saying is we initiate the file transfer and then we send that there. So we send the file acknowledgement on the other side. But I think no, wait, no, that's not right. Hold on. So we send the file request. So the file request comes into the other one. So this is a send request. We then send back the acknowledgement. So send file acknowledgement. So this is our send acknowledgement back to here. So send file request. So client A has sent the file request. So client B is saying, yep, send that file back. We then want to initiate the transfer. Okay, this is what's happening here. So initiate transfer is telling the other client to accept it, and then it's connecting to the other client and sending it back. Okay. All right, I think that's everything. So let me just make sure this fires up and says it's okay. Okay. All right, that looks good. So I'm now going to do my usual thing, which is git add star, git commit, sending file rec at sequence, and then push. Then I'm going to do that on the other machine, and then we're going to come back. But before we do that, we need to put the host name in there because we haven't put the host. Where are we? So we're sending this down here. So host names. Where's the send file? We're sending this send file request, and then we've got this down here. I'm not sure we get the environment.hostname. No. Get machine. Oh, there's machine name. Okay. And then we want the username. So let's do this as var hostname equals, and then it's going to be username at environment.hostname. Machine name? Machine name. That's the one. Okay. And then that's going to send that across to the other machine. So now I'm going to do the thing that I need to do, which is I need to do the GitHub thing to get it onto the other machine. Right, I ran into a little bit of a problem, so you'll see the kind of split screen that's going on just now. So if I run this machine here, again, it doesn't really matter which one I run. So I'm going to run both of them. So you can see that now they have connected across. So I'm going to send the README file from in here, and it's going to go across to here, and I'm going to get the little dialog box that says receive README from Razor Sloan at Razorcrest, which is correct because that's the name of my. See if you can guess which show I like. And then when I click on yes, and we go back to this machine here, you can see that we have no such host is known, and the host name is that. So there's something wrong with the sending of the data. So the host name is coming back wrong on here. So host name is coming in from here. So eClient is that. So I just need to send the address. So so inside here, instead of client toString, I need to do client.address toString, and that should fix it. So I'm going to shut everything down just now and then fix that just now. So just a simple fix this one. That should just be address. That's all I need to change there, because it's transferring the file across to the address. We know what the port is, so that's all we need to fix there. Again, we'll just do a courtesy run here. So that's it running. All right, let's do the old GitHub thing, and I'll be back in a sec. Here's the moment of truth. So I'm going to start it on here, and I'm going to start it on my other machine. Oops, here we go. Start it there. Okay, and I think what we'll do is I'll send it on this machine, because then that way we can maybe debug it a little bit better. So I'm going to do right click, send file, and well, why not send one of the files across here? So this is our 4.5 demo. Okay, and it's going to say receive from this on Firefly, and then we're going to click on yep. And there you go, transfer complete. So if I close this one down here, and I go to network app, and then I go to the GUI, bin, debug, and there we have our FLV file, and it is 22,858 kilobytes, and this one here is 22,858 kilobytes. That's good though, it's transferring it across. So while I'm doing a little bit of the outro here, I can clean up some of this stuff because we don't need it. Just make sure we've got these cleared as well. Tidy things up a little bit. I guess my program's fine as well. Yeah, I think we're good to end the video there. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It's part of a series of videos where I create a simple file transfer application for the Windows operating system, so Windows 10, so on. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share. It really does help the channel. And if you want timely reminders of when another part of this series, or anytime I post up a video up, then please hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and YouTube will work its magic and give you a notification when one of those videos goes up. But yeah, thank you so much again for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.